Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the second session of our series of classes on building relationships and tackling distresses the Bhagavatam way. Yesterday we discussed about the importance of relationships with our other living beings and how a spiritual seeker or a devotee of Krishna is not disinclined to have relationships with everyone. In fact, devotees are very, very eager to have loving, cordial, friendly relationships with every single living being. Okay? A devotee is not restricting his relationships only with few family members or few friends. But devotees are always eager to have loving relationships with all living beings because everybody is a child of God. Everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna. So we discussed the examples of Parikshit Maharaj, how he aspired to have loving devotion for Krishna and association of all devotees and friendly relationships with all living beings. And we also saw the example of that florist Sudama. He also had a similar aspiration to have kindness towards all living beings and company of devotees and love for Krishna. So he saw several examples how devotees are eager to have friendly relations with everyone. And we also saw that although there is eagerness to have friendly relations with everybody, but some people are not very favorable for our own progressive spiritual life. Therefore, whatever is unfavorable to our advancement in bhakti, we try to avoid. Anukulyasya sankalpam pratikulyasya varjanam. Whether it is habits or people, company. So we may avoid the company of envious people, materialistic people, and we can keep ourselves in the company of those who are very spiritually inclined, okay, like-minded devotees, having same aspiration to develop Krishna prema. But there are some innocent people. Not everybody is envious. They may not be worshipping Krishna at this moment because of their innocence or ignorance. Therefore, we can be compassionate and kind towards them. So these are some points that we have elaborately discussed in the yesterday's session. So now, let's go deep into this topic of relationships, especially with the devotees. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mother Kunti offered a prayer. She praised Krishna in various ways. Namah Pankajanabhaya, Namah Pankajamalini, Namah Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajanghraye. Like that, she praised Krishna in so many ways. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. She praised the qualities of Krishna, and she praised the activities of Krishna, and she thanked Krishna for saving her from so many calamities in life. She was saying, Vishan Mahagneha Purushada Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Kruchratah Mridhe Mridheneka Maharatastrato Draunyastratascha Harebhi Rakshitah. So, Krishna, you have protected us from so many calamities. My little son, Bhima, was poisoned, but you saved him. And our kingdom was taken away in cheating ways, because of the malicious intentions of Duryodhan, Dushyasan, Karna, Shakuni. My sons came on roads, not roads, in forests, right? So, Vanavasa Krichritaha. Mridhe Mridhe Aneka Maharastratrato. You also saved us from so many man-eating demons, like when they were in forests, Hidimbasura, Bakasura. So many such demons attacked Bhima and the Pandavas. But by Krishna's grace, they came out of all the calamities. And their house was set on fire. Krishna protected the Pandavas. Like that, Krishna, you saved us from so many calamities. Now, during the Kurukshetra war, so many big Athirathis, Maharathis, they were showering their arrows on my sons, especially Arjuna, and you saved Arjuna from all the calamities, all these attacks of demons or demoniac people. So thank you so much. Now they won this Kurukshetra battle. They're sitting on the throne as kings or rulers. Are you leaving now? Krishna basically came to assist the Pandavas in Kurukshetra war. After the war, he was about to go to Dwaraka, his own capital. Then Kunti Maharani came forward and said that, why are you going now? They need more protection now. Somehow you managed to make them the rulers, but there are so many other inimical rulers, they are still envying them. So they need your protection. Then Krishna would say, you have Bhima with you, you have Arjuna with you, and Bhima and Arjuna are such celebrated warriors. Yatra dharma suto raja gada panirvrkodaraha Krishnostrigandi vamchapam suhrut krishnastato vipat. Yatra dharma suto raja, the place where Dharmasuta, our Yudhishthir Maharaj, is there. So there is no compromise in following dharma. So spiritually he is very elevated. And even physically speaking, Bhima had the strength of 10,000 elephants in one arm. You keep 10,000 elephants in one row, Bhima would punch the first one and the 10,000th elephant will fall down. Okay, so that is his strength. And you have Arjuna with his Gandiva bow. He is a great celebrity in those days. He is like a universal celebrity. He had fan following even in heavenly planets also. He could impress even Indra and Shiva also with his military skills. He is the favorite student of his guru, Dronacharya. So Bhima is there, Arjuna is there, Yudhishthira is there, all Pandavas are there. They are sufficient, self-sufficient in protecting themselves. Then Kunti Maharani says, Krishna, are you saying that they are self-sufficient? Please understand, they are like senses only, and you are the soul. Without soul in the body, what will the body and the bodily senses do? They are useless. So without you, Krishna, Pandavas cannot get anything. So you please stay with Pandavas, protect them. Don't go to Dwaraka. Okay, that was her prayer. Whatever prosperity we have, whatever abilities we have, is all by your grace. Then immediately after thinking like this, after speaking like this, Kunti Maharani got another thought. She belongs to the Vrishni dynasty, and all these Vrishnis are staying in Dwaraka. So she married Pandu Maharaj and came to Hastinapur, Kuru dynasty. She started thinking, I'm thinking so much about my husband's family, and I am asking Krishna to stay with my sons. What will happen to my parents' family? Vrishnis, if Krishna stays here. They also need Krishna's association, right? So Vrishnis are Pandavas. She is little caught up in the dualities. Then Kunti Maharani said that, why am I getting caught up in this dualities. I am thinking about my husband's family, I am thinking about my parents' family. I think this is material attachments. I should give up these material relationships. Okay, so let me not have any relationships with all these people. Let me have a relationship only with Krishna. In this mood, she chanted 2 prayers. First, Atha Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Snehapashamimam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu. O Vishvesha, O Lord of the universe, O Vishvatman, O soul of the universe, Vishvamurte, O universal form, the form of the universe. Svakeshu me sneha pasham imam chindi. Please cut this tight knot of attachment or relationship that I have with Pandavas and Vrishnis. Dridham, it's very, very strong. I am strongly bound to Pandavas and Vrishnis with a family relationship. Please cut this. Sneha pasham imam chindi. Sneha means affection, pasham means bondage, rope. I am bound by the rope of affection towards Pandus and Vrishnis. Please cut this knot. And do what? She says, let me have attachment only to you, not my family members, sons, brothers, sisters, and other family members and friends. Let me have attachment only to you. You know what she said next? Tvayi me ananya vishaya mater madhupate sakrit ratim udvahata daddha gange vaugham udanvati. Tvayi me ananya vishaya. Let my mind not be deviated from any other thought other than loving you, serving you. Ananya vishaya. Matir madhupate sakrit. Let my mati be dedicated to Madhupati. Right? So Mati is mind, Madhupati is Krishna. Let me be totally dedicated to Madhupati. Just like Ganga flows towards the ocean despite all kinds of obstacles on the way. As Ganga is flowing, sometimes you may find a big tree on the way, big mountain on the way, forest on the way, but somehow Ganga moves ahead and reaches the ocean. In a similar way, let my mind also flow towards you, Krishna. Let me not be caught up in this affectionate ties, bonds with my family members, Vrishnis or Pandavas. What does it mean? To connect with Krishna, you have to give up all connections with friends and family members? Is that what Kunti Maharani meant? It seems so, apparently. So, I don't want connection, affectionate ties towards my Pandavas also, my sons, her own sons. She says, Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi. So, cut this bondage to my sons, cut this bondage to my parents also. So, that's not her intention. Let's not misunderstand Kunti Maharani. She only said that these Pandavas and Vrishnis are my family members. I have a bodily relationship with them, blood relation with them. Please cut that. But I want their relationship. I want the association and relationship with all the Pandavas and Vrishnis because they are your devotees. Let me love the Pandavas and Vrishnis because they are your devotees, not just because they have a bodily connection with me. So she wants to love them. She wants affection towards them. But the reason is that they are devotees, not because my blood relatives, right? So let us love people because they are children of God, because they are parts and parcels of Krishna. So let that be the reason to love people, not because I have a connection with them through this body. Prabhupada explains in the purport, Kunti Maharani had 2 kinds of relationships with her relatives. What are the 2 kinds of relationships? One is the skin relation, second is the soul relation. Skin relationship is based on this temporary body. Soul relationship is based on Krishna, right? So preserve that spiritual relationship and sever this material relationship. Let me not love them because I have a bodily relation with them. Let me love them because I have a spiritual relation with them, because they are your children, they are your devotees. I want their association of devotees. In short, we need not give up relationships, but we need to spiritualize relationships. let us spiritualize our material relationships. Let's not have relationships just based on bodily plane. He is from Andhra Pradesh. I am also from Andhra Pradesh. Therefore, let's have a relation. Let's have more friendship. Or he is a human being. I am a human being. Or he is from the same college, right? I'm from the same college which he studied. So there is some kind of affiliation or attraction that we have towards some people because of some connection somewhere, right? We come from the same geographical location, we come from the same place or language that we speak for some reason. But relationship may begin there, but it need not be the only reason for our continual survival, right? So we need to love people for their love towards Krishna. He loves Krishna, she loves Krishna. So with their love for Krishna, they are inspiring me also to love Krishna. Therefore, it's worth having friendly relationships with these people because they are lovers of Krishna. Relationships based on love for Krishna are sustainable. Relationships based on body and other external material considerations are not sustainable. They have a beginning, they have an end. But relationship based on love for Krishna is more nourishing, more pleasing, more sustainable, right? Because the alignment is towards Krishna. Now, let me tell you a deeper key. Okay, let me give this example a little later. Now, having discussed the importance of spiritualizing our relationships, let us also discuss on what sustains these spiritual relationships, which are true in any other relationship. Okay. Yesterday we discussed we should genuinely appreciate other devotees and not unnecessarily criticize them, demean them, discourage them, disappoint them, right? We should encourage them, appreciate them, not envy them. We discussed it yesterday. So let's go a little deeper into this. When we envy another person's success, what exactly is happening there? Because he has something or she has something and I want it, I don't have it, I'm envying that person, right? So he or she has something and I don't have it. So therefore I'm envying them. So what does it mean? Having that privilege, having access to that privilege is something great. You are actually appreciating that the other person's position. Instead of indirectly appreciating the other person for the privileged position he or she is in, better appreciate that person directly, and Krishna will also bestow a similar privilege to you if you are qualified, if you deserve it. Let me give a simple example. In Vrindavan, all the gopis, motherly gopis, elderly gopis see Mother Yashoda serving Krishna like a loving mother. She would bathe Krishna, she would feed Krishna, she would dress Krishna, she would decorate Krishna, she would make Krishna sleep. In this way, she is doing all the services that a mother can do for a child. All the other motherly gopis of Vrindavan, they felt so happy and appreciative of Mother Yashoda's position. They were also thinking, if only we also get that opportunity to serve Krishna in this way like Mother Yashoda is doing, we would also be fortunate. They are also getting some privilege to be with Krishna, to meet Krishna, and Krishna is personally coming to all their homes on a daily basis to steal their butter. They are happy with that, but they wanted a little more service. They were never envious of Mother Yashoda. They were appreciative of Mother Yashoda. Therefore, Krishna fulfilled all their desires during Brahma Vimohana Leela. When Lord Brahma has stolen all these little boys, you know Brahma Vimohana Leela, right? When all the boys and calves were stolen by Lord Brahma, Krishna expanded himself into unlimited cows and calves and boys and received that motherly services from all the elderly gopis of Vrindavan and all the cows of Vrindavan also. When you genuinely appreciate another devotee's fortune, good fortune of receiving a special blessing from Krishna or Guru or Vaishnavas, Krishna may also bestow a similar good fortune to you. But if you envy another devotee for having attained whatever he has attained. So Krishna will not be happy, right? So there is a story in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam. Prithu Maharaj, a great devotee of Krishna, he performed sacrifices. He performed 99 horse sacrifices. He was about to perform his 100th sacrifice. He started the preparations. He is already into the sacrifice to some degree. He was about to complete it also. Then Shatakratu, Indra became very envious of Prithu. Indra had the track record of having done 100 sacrifices. Shatakratu, that's the title given to Indra. Shata means 100, Kratu means sacrifices. So Indra till 99 he kept quite kind of, right? Maybe he's just glancing at him. When Prithu was about to complete 100, Indra understood, oh my God, he's breaking my record. I should not allow him to complete his 100th sacrifice. Out of envy, out of his intolerance towards the superiority or equality of Prithu, he just went and he stole the 100th horse in the 100th sacrifice. For that he disguised himself as a sadhu. Can you just imagine? To fulfill one's own malicious intentions, people can take even pure attires. So this saffron cloth is accepted by somebody to indicate that I want to dedicate myself to Krishna's service and I want to renounce all material attachments. But Indra has accepted saffron cloth with deep attachment to his material position and possessions. Out of envy he has accepted saffron cloth, right? So people may accept a pure attire with an impure attitude. So he did that. Indra did that, and he has stolen the sacrificial horse in the form of a sadhu. And you know the long story, I don't want to elaborate on the story, but the main point here is envy can make one so degraded in his consciousness. Because of envy, one can become totally degraded in one's consciousness that they cross all the boundaries of morals, principles, ethics and etiquettes, and even cause harm to others, even while being a practicing devotee. Indra is a devotee, by the way. Indra is not a demon. Indra is a devata. He is the king of all devatas. He is a devotee of the Lord. He has been appointed in that responsible post. He is a leader. Despite being in a leadership position, despite being a devata, supposed to be a devotee of the Lord, he is envying another devotee, unable to tolerate the superiority of another devotee. How can he compete with me? I need first rank always. If someone is getting first rank, I cannot handle it. In my childhood, there is one person who always gets first rank in the class. So one day he got 24 out of 25 in a unit test in English, I think. Another student who gets generally second or third rank in the class, he also got 24 out of 25. And this person said, oh my God, you also got 24. Show me your paper. He got the paper. He thoroughly examined that paper. Right? Thoroughly. And he found one mistake. He went to the teacher and said, Madam, you have given extra mark here, although he has done a mistake. And the madam has seen, she has cut half mark. Now this guy got 23 and half. And the other fellow got 24. He felt so comfortable, so happy. It's reality. And the second guy is me. I got 24 out of 25. He got also 24 out of 25. He made my mark 23.5. He was comfortable. I'm happy that he's comfortable. It was in 4th standard or something like that. I remember 4th standard only. Yeah. So then after that he said, that's what I was thinking. You should always be in a second position, not first position. So, okay, fine, no problem. I accepted my inferior position towards him. But so these are some issues. That is childhood innocence. But even as practicing devotees also, we can become susceptible, vulnerable to these qualities of envy. On a gross plane, anger, lust, we can detect, yes, it is wrong. But envy and pride, very subtle. It's very difficult to detect. People may admit that I have become lusty or angry, but not many can admit honestly, I have become proud and envious. Because very subtle, extremely subtle. Whole world can detect, but they cannot detect. They cannot admit that I am proud and envious. Another issue with this pride and envy is, if I am envious, I perceive pride in others. And if I am proud, I perceive envy in others. That's another issue, right? So Atmavan Manyate Jagat is correct. If I am proud, I see pride in others. If I am envious, I see envy in others. But to go a little deep, if I am envious of someone's superior position, I may perceive that he is so proud. He may not be proud. But because of my envy, I am seeing pride in him. Or if I am proud, I say, these people are very envious of my position. My God. No, they may not be envious. You are perceiving envy because you are feeling a sense of superiority over them. Right? So this pride and envy will spoil relationships. But if we can understand and acknowledge the equal position of all devotees, in the sense that they are all aspiring for point is aspirations are similar and they are trying to attain Krishna Prema to the best of their ability. In that sense, yes, we are all same family members. How can one family member hate another family member? Right? So Indra was so envious of Prithu Maharaj. Bhagavatam teaches us a simple formula how to deal with other devotees or any living being. Whomever you see in this entire creation can fall into one of these three categories. You know what are the three categories? One, they are better than you. They are greater than you. Either in their age or experience or skills or advancement in bhakti, time spent in Krishna consciousness, or from some parameter, they are better than you. They are greater than you. First category. Second category, they are younger than you. They are lesser than you in the sense that they are, in terms of their age or experience or skills or exposure to Krishna consciousness, they are younger, juniors. Third category, they are equal to you. Okay? Just to keep it simple, seniors, juniors, equals. Three categories of people whom we meet in this world. You can put anyone that you meet in one of these three categories, right? Any other third category? Right? So from one perspective, you can categorize people in these three ways. Seniors, juniors, equals. So Bhagavatam says how to deal with these three categories of people to keep our relationships very nice and cordial. Okay? Gunadhikan mudam lipsed anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadan vichen natapair abhibhuyate. Guna adhikan mudam lipsed. When you meet a person who is better than you, more qualified than you, then mudam lipsed, be happy, don't envy them. Right? When you meet a senior person, please understand that, oh, this person knows so much, I should be learning from this person. It's my great fortune that I met this person who is more experienced than me. Let me not envy this person, let me learn from this person. Okay? Let me take inspiration from this person. When you meet a person who is equally qualified like you, don't compete with them. How can he be equal to me? I should be competing with this person and I should prove myself better than this person. I cannot tolerate he being an unequal sitting like me. He cannot be equal to me. That's another issue. Okay? So when you meet an equal person who is equally qualified like you, befriend them. Right? Maitrim samana danvichen means you befriend people who are equals to you, don't compete with them. Then anukrosham guna adhamat. When you meet a person who is little less qualified than you, anukrosham, be compassionate upon them, be kind to them, extend your helping hand. Don't oppress them, don't suppress them, don't dominate them, don't demean them, don't discourage them. Don't constantly say that I know better than you. You don't know anything. You are very new. Abhi to aaya. So don't constantly point out their inferiority in your presence. So spardha, asuya. Spardha means competing. Asuya means envy, right? So there is a third term also to dominate. So basically, in short, when you meet a person who is more qualified than you, be happy, take inspiration, and don't envy. When you meet a person who is equally qualified like you, befriend them and don't compete with them. When you meet a person who is little less qualified than you, be kind and compassionate towards them and don't oppress or suppress them or dominate them. Then your relationships will be very cordial. From your side at least. Right? You are clear. So this is the formula given by Narada Muni to Dhruva Maharaj in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, 8th chapter. So this is how our dealing should be. Problem is, we are not satisfied with what we have and what we are. When there is no satisfaction, there is competition, there is comparison, there is complaint, there is conflict, there is criticism. All these 5 C's that we said will lead to 5 D's. Discouragement and disappointment. But we can always overcome these C's or D's, complaining, criticism, comparison, discouragement, disappointment, demotivation, etc. by accepting the grace of Krishna. Let's accept the grace of Krishna. So we have to count our own blessings. Krishna has already showered so much of grace upon me. He has given me access to His holy name. He has given me access to this holy form in the form of deity. He has given me access to so many spiritual privileges. He has given me access to Bhagavatam. How many people on this entire planet have access to Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita? We all have. So He has given me so many spiritual privileges. Let me count these blessings and be grateful to Him instead of complaining that Krishna, you have not given me this, you have not given me that. We will mess up relationship with Krishna also when we complain. We are not just messing up relationship with the other devotees. We will mess up relationship with Krishna also. So when another devotee is flourishing nicely, advancing nicely, becoming more and more advanced in his shastric understanding or service contribution or whatever, if I am not being comfortable, basically I am envying Krishna. Envy has 2 connotations. Envy is self-envy, and envy is envy towards Krishna. Right? Envy towards any other person is envy towards Krishna and envy towards oneself. Don't hate yourself, please. Don't envy yourself, please. And don't envy Krishna, please. Hey, I am not envying Krishna. I am not envying myself. I am envying this person. No. Envy towards that person is envy towards Krishna and envy towards yourself. How? You are envying that person because he is greater than you. But without Krishna's sanction, can he be greater than you? Krishna has sanctioned whatever he has and whatever he is. So if I am envying this person, I am going against Krishna's sanction, Krishna's approval. Who am I to do that? Okay. Basically, I am envying Krishna. Another point is envy is self-envy. How? When you are envying another person, like before you harm that person out of your envy, you have already harmed yourself. Your peace of mind is gone. It's spoiled. Right? So when the very fact that we are holding some envy or grudge or negativity or jealousy towards someone shows that we are not peaceful. We are not happy. We are not satisfied. How can a person who is not peaceful, not satisfied, be happy? We have killed our own happiness by holding that envy within. How can we carry 1 ton heavy grudge on our head or in our heart and be happy? It's not possible, right? So therefore, to keep cordial Vaishnava relationships, we should have friendships and not envy, not oppressing or suppressing people, not unnecessarily competing with people, right? Unhealthy competitions will destroy relations, right? Always trying to establish one superiority, trying to be in the limelight, trying to come in the forefront, and what is that? Yesterday we were discussing screen presence, aspiring for greater screen presence. So this will naturally destroy relations. And better we count our own blessings. There is this story of the crow. I said it once somewhere else. Okay, there's one crow that is very unhappy, and this crow went to a sadhu, a mystic monk, and said that, "Can you please make me a swan? Because I'm not very happy with this crow body. Nobody loves me. When I make sound, people will say, hey, shh, 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 shh." They will say, they will throw me away. So, and the sadhu said, okay. To cut the long story short, the sadhu said, yes, I can make you a swan. But just go and ask the swan if the swan is happy. Then the crow went and asked the swan, are you happy? I want to become like you. I'm black and you're white. Right? And people don't love my farm and people love your farm. People take selfies with you. So I want to become a swan. The swan said, no, I am not very happy. Given an opportunity, I would like to become parrot. I can't fly so high. Parrots are very free. They can go on any tree and then they can bite any fruits. They are living in a much happy life compared to me. I cannot fly so high unless it is Brahma's swan. Right? So, and swan is one color, and this parrot is very green, attractive, with a red beak. I like it, he said. Then the crow changed his mind. I want to become like a parrot. He went to the mystic monk and said, please make me a parrot. Then monk has standard answer. Go and ask the parrot if she is happy. So the crow went to the parrot and said, no, I am not happy because I look so beautiful, I speak so sweetly. People captivate me in a case. They encase me and engage me in speaking like them. So you see, they constantly push me. You speak like us. So I have to do all that, giving up all my freedom. I'm not happy. Given an opportunity, I would like to become a peacock. I don't have great feathers, but peacock has great feathers. Peacock is so beautiful. I am only dual color, red and green, whatever. But the peacock is multicolor, like a rainbow. I would like to become a peacock. It's very regal. Then the crow changed his mind. Crow went to the monk and said, I want to become a peacock. And the monk has standard answer. Go to the peacock and ask if the peacock is happy. So the crow went to the peacock and said, I'm not very happy with this. Why? People are chasing me for my feathers. Okay, people are hunting me with for my feathers. So I'm not very happy. Given an opportunity, I would like to become a crow. Because nobody will bother a crow. Right? So when I'm in a peacock body, people want to take selfies, they want my feathers, they have no privacy only. Always people are watching me with 10 eyes. They don't leave me alone only. I just want some space for myself, right? I'm not here just to give darshan to everybody. I want some space for myself also. So crow, nobody will bother. Crow has his own space. Then the crow came to the monk and shared his realization. Yeah, I understand that these birds like swan or parrot or peacock, they're beautiful, they have their own credits, but they also have their own dissatisfactions. And somebody is aspiring to become like me, that's a revelation for me. Right? So crow is thinking like that. So this whole story is not to establish crow is the best bird. Okay? This story is meant to establish that don't fail to count your own blessings, and don't become envious of other people or try to imitate others when it is not natural for you. Right? So you are what you are, and you try to serve Krishna to the best of your ability with the resources or talents or skills or position that Krishna has given you. And if we are constantly aspiring to be like someone artificially, we have to follow in the footsteps of great souls. Following is allowed. Imitation is not allowed. Right? You can follow the footsteps of great souls and take inspiration from them and try to develop their qualities, mood, but not with envy or not with an unhappy mood, or not at the cost of discounting your blessings, without counting your blessings, right? So now Duryodhana was always envious of Yudhishthira. Karna was always envious of Arjuna. And here Indra was envious of Prithu Maharaj. So because of that, naturally, there is a strain. He is unable to be happy with what he has. He is unable to count the blessings that Krishna has already given him. Right? So these are some important points that we need to meditate upon to keep good relationships. And empathy, sympathy, kindness, compassion, extending yourself to serve others whenever they are in need. All this will sustain our relationships. Let me tell you one more example from Bhagavatam only, 4th canto. In the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a king named Prachina Barhi. He had 10 sons. Together they were called Prachetas. When they were very young, this Prachina Barhi had sent all these Prachetas to the forest. Go to the forest, purify yourself by performing some austerities. So why austerities they have to perform? They are princes, right? Yes. In the olden days, the sons of great kings were not allowed to stay in a comfortable royal palace in their young days. They were sent to some Gurukula, to the forest, to perform some austerities. The reason is, if they are too accustomed to palace comforts, they will become very lazy, relaxed. They have access to so many servants, maid servants, soldiers, ministers, assistants. They are living a lavish life, and they have to rule people who may not have access to all these facilities. So when some citizen comes to them for some solution in some problem, they should not put a blank face. They should be able to understand what the other people are going through. Unless they personally have an experience of living a simple austere life with basic comforts in a forest or in a Gurukul somewhere, how can they empathize with common man, common people, right? So they need to empathize, they need to sympathize. And also in the olden days, people were not allowed to live in with royal comforts till the last moment of their life. Once they cross 50 or whatever, they enter Vanaprastha, and once their successor is ready to take charge of the kingdom, they will voluntarily retire from the kingdom, go to the forest. They are called Rajarshis. They retire from the kingdom, they go to the forest, they perform austerities. So without having that background of living an austere life as a brahmachari, how can they accept Vanaprastha or sannyasa and work for self-realization? Therefore, it's a mandatory item that people have to come out. So the great, in this context there is another lesson. So great Rajarshis in Bhagavatam, they showed this example of perfect balance between responsibility and detachment. Oftentimes, in the name of responsibility, we can get unreasonably attached to things. Responsibility should not lead to attachment. And detachment does not mean irresponsibility. I need to be detached, I need to be detached. That does not mean you become irresponsible towards your relationships, right? Yeah, we need to be detached, but we should be responsible also, right? So a person who is living in a family should take care of the wife, husband, children, parents, all of them. Yeah, in the name of, oh, these are all material relationships, I should be attached to Krishna, I should be detached from these people. That does not mean we become irresponsible. So we need to be detached, but at the same time we need to be responsible towards all our relationships. Responsibility does not mean attachment. Detachment does not mean irresponsibility. So great souls have showed a perfect balance between these two, detachment and responsibility. Okay, coming back to the main story. So these Prachetas were sent to the forest to cultivate detachment, to perform some austerities. Then Lord Shiva came in front of them voluntarily. He said, Yah param ramhasa sakshat triguna jiva sangitat bhagavantam vasudevam prapannaha sapriyo hime. Because all of you are worshipping Lord Vasudeva, you are very dear to me, I have come here to teach you a special prayer called Rudra Gita and enlighten you in the qualities of Vasudeva and inspire you to meditate on Lord Vasudeva and attain Vasudeva. So this is the assistance that aspirants of Krishna consciousness will get even from great devatas. So Shiva taught them Rudra Gita. How much time it will take to recite Rudra Gita? Shlokas. Some of you must be knowing, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So he taught them this prayer and he disappeared. 10 minutes of class. 10,000 years. These 10 princes, Prachetas, stayed underwater and chanted this Rudragita and worshipped Lord Vasudeva. 10,000 years together with all friendship, with wonderful relationships, with great cooperation. They were together. 10,000 years they worshipped the Lord. And you see, after 10,000 years, Lord Vishnu came on the back of Garuda. Garuda flies in the sky, right? Garuda can fly in the water also. Have you seen a bird flying in the water? So Garuda came carrying Lord Vishnu on the back of, on his back and entered the water. So the Lord comes in front of this Prachetas and said, the first thing that he said was, Varam vrinidhvam bhadram vo yuyam me nripanandana sauhardena prathak dharmaha tushtoham sauhridena va. Varam vrinidhvam bhadram vo. Let there be auspiciousness unto you, my dear princess, the Prachetas. I am going to give you all kinds of benedictions, whatever you want. Why? Sauhardena apratak dharma. You have performed your devotional service unto me with great loving relationships, friendships with each other. You never had conflicts, right? So even when there are some conflicts, all conflicts are resolved when we prioritize service to Krishna and Guru as the main thing, right? So all of you have loving relationships, friendships, and I'm very impressed with your friendships. When devotees cooperate with each other, when they are friendly towards each other, when they love each other, when they sympathize and empathize with each other, and when they extend themselves to serve other devotees, Krishna becomes so pleased and he will shower all the devotees with all benedictions, all boons, so that they can come closer to him. Right? Dadami buddhiyugam tum yena mam upayantite. So he said, Sauhardena aprathak dharma tushtoham sauhridenava. In one shloka, the Lord spoke sauhrida word 2 times. Just like he spoke in 9.26, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti pahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. He said bhakti word twice in Bhagavad Gita shloka. Now he said sauhrida word twice in this shloka. This is 4.30.8. You can see. Right? Tushtoham sauhridenava. When you love other devotees, Krishna will be pleased. If your aspiration is to please Krishna, if you think that what is that shloka? Samsiddhir haritoshanam is your aspiration, is your mission of life. What is the mission of life? Samsiddhir haritoshanam. I should be able to please Lord Hari. All my endeavors, all my efforts in Krishna consciousness, all my sadhana, all my japa, tapa, swadhyaya, all my sadhana, all of that is meant to please Lord Krishna, is meant to be an offering to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Radha Nil Madhav ki jai. So when we keep that as an aspiration, we should have friendly relationships with others. If cordial relationships and friendships are your aspiration, unnecessary urge to criticize other devotees, demean other devotees must be curtailed, must be avoided, because they will spoil relations. So the Lord appreciated their relationships. Now, what actually sustains our relationships? Oh, it's 8:35. My God, I'll come to the main point now. So there is one shloka which is very, very popular in Srimad Bhagavatam. You know Atma Rama verse? Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantha Apyurukrami Kurvantya Haitu Kim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. Even great Atma Ramas and Munis and great advanced people also become attracted to the qualities of Lord Hari and perform Ahaituki Bhakti. That's the meaning of this shloka in short. If you want more meanings, refer to Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 24th chapter. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives 61 meanings for this. Okay, so this is not a class on Atmarama verse. So this is a class on the verse that is next to Atmarama verse. Anyone knows what is the shloka next to Atmarama verse? 1.7.11. 1.7.10 is Atmarama verse, Bhagavatam. 1.7.11 is another beautiful verse that talks about relationships with devotees. So why this whole context came up? Because Sukadeva Goswami studied Srimad Bhagavatam, right? He heard Srimad Bhagavatam and he fell in love with Krishna. So this sloka Atmarama verse says that Atmaramasya manayo nirgrantha apyurakrame kurvante ahitukim bhaktim itham bhuta guno harihi. Lord Hari's qualities can completely captivate the mind of anybody, including Sukadeva Goswami. Next sloka is Harer gunakshipta matihi Bhagavan Badarayani Adhyagan Mahadakhyanam Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. Okay, this is a relationship sloka. There may be 100 formulas of cultivating relationships, but I will give this formula as the foremost formula for cultivating relationships. This is our conclusion of our today session. Of course, tomorrow also we have that is tackling distresses. We will focus more there. So the meaning of the shloka is that Harer Guna Akshipta Matihi. Sukadeva Goswami is a self-realized soul, Atma Rama in one sense. Okay, and the Sukadeva Goswami, as soon as he took birth, he left his father. He's just going in the forest. Then Vyasdeva was running behind him. My dear son, please come back. Please come back. Today is your birthday. I want to celebrate your birthday. Please come back. But Sukadeva Goswami is not coming. Then Vyasdeva, he wrote Bhagavatam, right? He called some of his disciples and selected some shlokas of Bhagavatam. You take this shloka, you take this shloka, you take this shloka. Go and recite in front of my son. He must be wandering somewhere in the forests. And these disciples went and started singing these shlokas. And Sukadeva Goswami heard these shlokas. He became attracted to Krishna's qualities. How many qualities Krishna has? How sweet Krishna is. Barha pidam natavaravapuhu karnayor karnikaram Bibhradvasaha kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamalam Randhran venoradhara sudhaya purayan gopa vrindair Vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad Gita kirtihim. This shloka very beautifully describes Krishna's entrance into the forest of Vrindavan while playing his flute, accompanied by so many such beautiful associates, cows and calves and gopas. While gopis are glancing at him, he is wearing a beautiful peacock feather, which is like a rainbow on his head. He is wearing a dhoti that is yellow in color, which is like lightning. And he has a bodily complexion that is similar to cloud. So cloud is there, lightning is there, rainbow is there. And what is the rain here? The shower of his loving glances. His pleasing smiles are the rain. So in this way, Krishna is entering the forest of Vrindavan. So all these beautiful qualities of Krishna captivate anybody, including Sukadeva Goswami. There is another shloka that describes the Krishna's merciful attitude. We saw Krishna's beauty now. And this shloka says, Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jighamsaya payayadapyasadhvi lebhe gatim dhatruchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam rajeba. Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam, that demoness, Putana, she applied some kalakuta poison on her body, and with that poison, she wanted to kill Krishna, baby Krishna, infant Krishna, who was not even 10 days old baby. She wanted to kill him. With a malicious intention she came. But what did Krishna do? Krishna gave her the position of a motherly nurse in the spiritual world. Right? Kamvadayalum charanam vrajema. Who else can be more merciful than Krishna? Who else is a worthiest object of shelter other than Krishna? Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam loka vanditaihi angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa janani gatim Krishna bhuktasthana kshiraha kimugavo numataraha. Sukadeva Goswami, with great ecstasy, he glorifies Krishna. That Padbhyam Bhakta Hridistabhyam Vandyabhyam Lokavanditaihi. Krishna's divine lotus feet are worshipped by great universal celebrities also. Even Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all of them worship Krishna's lotus feet. Yam Brahma Varun Indra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi
Vedaihi Sangapadakramopanisadaihi gayanti yam samagah Dhyanavasthita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino Yasyantam na vidursura suraganaha devaya tasmai namaha. So Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all of them glorify Krishna, praise Krishna. All the Vedas are praising Krishna. All the yogis are meditating on Krishna. So these are the qualities of Krishna. And hearing all these qualities, I was explaining that sloka. Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam loka vanditaihi. So Krishna's divine lotus feet are the worshipable object for even great personalities like Devatas. But Putana's good fortune is that she is not even not just getting the touch of Krishna's feet, she was getting Krishna's embrace. Angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatudhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa janani gatim. Although she is a yatudhani, she is a witch, still she attained the spiritual world in the position of motherly nurse. Krishna was thinking that although her attire and attitude do not match, I ignore her attitude and accept her attire as a mother. She was resembling Mother Rohini when she came inside. So Krishna gave her motherly position in the spiritual world. So hearing all these descriptions of Krishna's beautiful qualities and attributes, Sukadeva Goswami fell in love with Krishna. Okay, you got the connection, right? I'm not going elsewhere. I'm just coming to the main point. So Sukadeva Goswami heard about the qualities of Krishna and he became attracted to Krishna's qualities. Harer guna akshipta matihi. His mati has become Hari guna akshipta. His mati has become completely overwhelmed or overtaken by Lord Hari's qualities. Adarayani adhyagan mahadakhyanam. Then he came back to Vyasadeva and studied Srimad Bhagavatam in great detail. He had little bit of Bhagavatam. He became attracted to Krishna and he studied Bhagavatam elaborately. Okay, he became attracted more to Krishna. Then what is the result here? Nityam Vishnu Jana Priyaha. This is relationships. Nityam means always. Vishnu Jana means devotees of Vishnu, Vaishnavas, devotees of Krishna. Priyaha means he has become dear to. So Nityam Vishnu Jana Priyaha means Sukadeva Goswami became very dear to all the devotees and all the devotees became dear to Sukadeva Goswami. You see, it can have two meanings, right? Sukadeva Goswami became dear to the devotees and devotees became dear to Sukadeva Goswami. That means relationships. And what is the basis of these relationships or dearness between Sukadeva Goswami and other devotees? Based on his love for Krishna. Harer gunakshiptamatihi adhyagan mahadakhyanam. You got these lines? Please try to memorize this shloka if you can. Only 3 points. His mind is captivated with Lord Krishna's qualities. He studied Srimad Bhagavatam. He has good relationships with devotees. Right? So what is the essential point here? The main lesson, last concluding point of this whole series. If you study Srimad Bhagavatam, if you hear Srimad Bhagavatam nicely, you will be attracted to Krishna's qualities. And if you are attracted to Krishna's qualities, all the devotees of Krishna will become dear to you and you will become dear to all the devotees. And that is a spiritual relationship which is based on Krishna Prema. You love Krishna, all devotees of Krishna will become attractive to you. And you will become attractive to all the other devotees. One can attract others' attention by one's speaking skills, one's singing skills, one's managing skills, and what else? There may be 100 different skills. Mridanga playing skills, or book distribution skills. So many skills are there. But all these skills are meant to be utilized in Krishna Seva, right? If you are utilizing whatever skills we have in Krishna Seva with love for Krishna, that love for Krishna will make us attractive in the eyes of other devotees. Right? So let us make Krishna Prema the goal of our life and let us make Krishna the means to cultivate relationships with other devotees of Krishna. If you love Krishna, naturally we love devotees of Krishna And naturally, devotees of Krishna will love us because we love Krishna. So let's cultivate love for Krishna. And that love for Krishna is based on Bhagavatam. Right? Hear Bhagavatam, study Bhagavatam. If you study Bhagavatam, you develop love for Krishna. You want proof? I have unlimited proofs. I'll give one for this moment. Yasyam Vaishruyamānāyam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsaha Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Yasyam Vaishruyamānāyam. If you hear Bhagavatam, what will happen? Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate. You will develop love for Krishna. Bhakti there is prema. Vishnu Thakur writes in his commentary. Bhaktirutpadyate means that is prema utpadyate. To develop love for Krishna, you need to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Shoka Moha Bhaya will go. By hearing Bhagavatam, by studying Bhagavatam sincerely, with proper consciousness, not to become scholar, not to impress people, not to quote slokas left, right, center, just to impress people, but to inspire each other in developing one's connection with Krishna. Right? Scholarship could be a small byproduct of Shastric study. Memory could also be a small product of Shastric study. The main product is love for Krishna. Right? We should have love for Krishna. When we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, either through Sravanam or Kirtanam, and thus develop love for Krishna, that love for Krishna is the basis of our relationships with other devotees. That's the most sustaining force. Now, you see, what does Krishna say about the nature of devotees in Bhagavad Gita? You know, all of you know this. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Devotees are those people who are always conscious of Krishna. Macchitta, they have dedicated their chitta, mind to Krishna. Madgata prana, they have given their lives to Krishna. Acharyas say that just like a fish cannot stay outside water. You give pizza to fish, fish will not like. You give AC to fish, fish cannot stay in AC room. You give whatever you have, you gold, diamonds, you give a crown to fish. You say you will become the Prime Minister of this country. Fish is not excited. Put the fish back into water, then only fish is excited. Right? Similarly, devotees also. For them, Krishna is their prana. Krishna Katha is their prana. What do? Bodhayantaha parasparam. They enlighten each other. They teach each other. They share with each other Krishna's qualities. Kathayantascha mam nityam. On a regular basis, they discuss about Krishna. Tushyanticha ramanticha. With great happiness and satisfaction, they do this. So, what is the key factor for relationships? Spiritual discussions with other devotees is the main driving force behind relationships. That's what devotees are meant to do. If you say something about Krishna, if you express your appreciation for Krishna based on Gita or Bhagavatam, and another devotee hears you, what will happen in this? The devotee's love for Krishna will increase, and the devotee's love for you also will increase. And the basis of the devotee's love for you is your love for Krishna. Right? Second, other devotee also glorifies Krishna. He shares some insight into some sloka of Gita or Bhagavatam, or he shares some pastime of Krishna. Krishna killed Putana, Krishna liberated Shakatasur, Krishna did Damodar Lila. So based on when he is narrating, when the other devotee is speaking Harikatha, you hear that devotee's Harikatha and you become attracted to Krishna more, and you become attracted to that devotee also. Two devotees come together. This devotee glorifies Hari. This devotee hears, and his love for Krishna and Hari will increase. And this devotee glorifies Krishna, then this devotee's appreciation for the other devotee and his love for Krishna also will increase. Thus, mutually we can come closer to Krishna. Individually you study Bhagavatam, you hear Bhagavatam, develop love for Krishna, and come closer to Krishna in the company of devotees. You know how it happens? You are going towards Krishna like this. But you need not be on two different tracks. You people, two people. So they can go to Krishna like this. Okay, you see the moment they come closer to Krishna and they come parallelly closer to them towards each other also. They are coming closer towards each other and together they are going to Krishna, right? So Krishna attracts each other. Krishna attracts devotees towards himself, and devotees get attracted to each other with Krishna in the center. So that makes spiritual life more nourishing. And sharing Krishna Katha need not be done only in a public forum like this. You need 100 people in front of you with a mic, with sound system, with an amplifier, with a camera in front of you, with YouTube Live or Zoom Live, or sound system, Vyasasan. Yes, this is good. This has to happen, of course. But if you can bring in Krishna Katha into our personal conversations, that's a very, very effective way of becoming Krishna conscious, individually and collectively. Isn't it? Do you agree with me? That's what Bhagavatam says. It's not my point, it's Bhagavatam's point. Parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavadyashah mithoratihi mitha tushter nivrittir mitha atmanah. Okay. Paraspara anukathanam. If we come together, discuss Harikatha with other devotees, not necessarily in a official public forum, official gathering, in your private conversations, when you are driving car, you speak about Hari, other devotee will hear, other devotee will speak about Hari, you hear. Thus you both come closer to each other and come closer to Krishna. Okay. So while taking prasadam, you can discuss. Right. Our private conversations, personal conversations can have 100 topics. But the most exciting topic is Hari's qualities, right? So we can discuss about management, discuss about Krishna service. That will definitely happen, inevitably, no doubt about that. But however, we also can put some effort to discuss Krishna Katha with other devotees. Okay, in that, generally speaking, unless you are a great scholar, generally speaking, there is no difference of opinion. When you say Krishna is merciful, others also will say that Krishna is merciful, right? So non-controversial topic, Krishna's glory. So we'll discuss about how to handle with differences of opinion tomorrow. Please remind me, I may forget. So how to deal with differences of opinion amongst devotees tomorrow. So anyways, this is the main message of Bhagavatam. Discuss about Krishna. Nourish yourself with friendships with other devotees. When you love Krishna, that love is the basis of your love towards other devotees of Krishna. If you really love Krishna, he will definitely love other devotees of Krishna. How can somebody love Krishna but hate his devotees? It just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense only, right? And by the way, you may not have intimate, close relationships with every single devotee. That's fine. Okay. You can have some close friendships only with few devotees, 3-4 friends. That's fine. That's natural. That's practical. But at least let's not have any grudge or envy or negativity towards anyone. That much we should have. Closeness with only few people for all practical reasons, right? But no bitterness anywhere with anyone. So when we come to that stage, at least, right? At least we don't envy anyone or hold grudge towards anyone, and have close relationship with few people and normal relationship with everyone. That's fine in the sadhaka stage. So these are a few thoughts about relationships. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? Yesterday also somebody wanted to ask a question, but there was no time. Yes, Madhu.
Harekrishna Prabhuji, thank you for a wonderful session. Prabhu, I have a question. Sometimes on the name of the friendship we start discussing Krishna Katha and it leads to discussing about problems amongst other devotees. So, and I know it leads to Prajalpa. So, where should I draw the line when we have a discussion with with their devotees.
Draw a line, not to get into discussion about problems.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll discuss on tackling distresses. Okay. Again, solution is Krishna Katha. Yes, we may have to discuss about certain problems that are happening, but the discussion should go in the line of, in the direction of finding a solution to the problem, not just aggravating the problem or just dwelling our minds too much into the problem only without thinking about solution. Yes, discussion about problems should happen to find out a solution, not just to dwell in the problem only, or not to just aggravate the problem or spoil our minds by dwelling too much into problem by overthinking and all. So yes, we should constantly remind ourselves. First, we should discuss about the problem, definitely. Without understanding the seriousness of the problem, how can we find a solution? So doctor should find Nadi, ask 10 questions. What is the problem? Why you are sick like this? So once you understand all the symptoms, okay, then he will suggest a medicine. So we can keep the discussion on a problem just to understand the problem properly, nicely, and prioritize finding a solution to the problem. Or if solution is not practical, then we should minimize the discussion on the problem, okay, and focus on something more positive, right? So when other devotees are just taking us too much into the problem, we should gently, diligently, intelligently try to bring them towards solution side, right? Don't dwell too much on the problem. Okay, let's discuss what's the solution. Okay, we should just try to bring them, not in an impatient way, not in an unempathetic way. We should empathize with them, but at the same time we should bring in the solution. For example, Arjuna said, Krishna, I have a big problem. What problem? Problem with the mind. He said, Chanchalam himanaha Krishna pramathi balavadradham tasyaham nigraham manye vayo rivasudushkaram. My mind is so restless, so fickle, so unsteady, so strong, I cannot control my mind. Then what did Krishna say? Yes, I acknowledge your problem. Asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam. In a 4-line sloka, in 2 lines, Krishna acknowledged the problem of Arjuna. Asamshayam mahabaho, undoubtedly, O mighty armed Arjuna, manodurnigraham chalam. Mind is very difficult to control. I agree. But he did not stop at agreeing with the problem only. Next 2 lines he gave the solution. Okay. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Keep practicing. Abhyasa, practice, and vairagya, be detached. So, problem discussion has to happen. Make sense, Mataji?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for such a wonderful class. You mentioned that following great devotee is okay, but imitation is not good. So practically, how do we?
Practically means, see, some things are meant for a sadhaka. For sadhaka, sadhaka has to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. So many things are prescribed for a sadhaka. 5, 9, 64. 5 potent limbs of bhakti, 9 processes of bhakti, 64 limbs of bhakti, Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti-rasamrita Subodhini. So there are so many prescriptions. Now another sadhaka is able to follow this 5, 9, 64 in a very effective manner. He is able to implement all of them and say, my implementation is not up to the mark. I can definitely take inspiration from this devotee and then follow the rules that he is following, follow the principles that he is following. So to that degree it is fine. As far as imitation is concerned, Prabhupada gives this example. Shiva is a pure Vaishnava. You can follow in his footsteps when he is glorifying the Lord, worshipping the Lord. But when he is drinking poison, you should not follow it. That is called imitation. So some things that only that Vaishnava can do. Some things are general sadhana practices that are prescribed for all Vaishnavas to follow. So while following these methods and procedures recommended by the scriptures, you take inspiration from someone who is a better sadhaka than you. But there are some things which are very unique to that personality of that person only, that Vaishnava only. You may not be meant to do that. You cannot imitate them, right? So some are good at playing mridanga so nicely. You can follow, but some are very skillful in doing it in a certain style. If you try to imitate them, we'll mess up the kirtan, right? Okay. So some are unique to the character, to the personality of some people. They are good at doing that. Not only skills, but in certain services also. They will be able to do it well. We may not imitate them. And one more thing is imitation. Generally, imitation should be done. Imitation is generally done with an intention to get the name, fame, prestige, or public attention that the other people are getting. When that is the intention, then our following can become an imitation. But if the intention is to advance in Krishna consciousness, right, and this devotee is doing these practices of Krishna consciousness nicely, let me also follow. So that is following. I hope this subtle difference.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes. Imitation is not sustainable, correct. It's just acting. Okay, any other question? Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu. That's okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, regarding the formula you mentioned, 1711.
1711. Correct.
1711.
Nityam Vishnu Janapriya. Bhagavatam 1711. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
So, how do we, we want to be attracted to the qualities of Lord. How does that becomes paranam for us, part of our...
Part of your?
How do we, that becomes the second nature for us?
The shloka itself says. Shloka itself says that Adhyagan Mahadakhyanam. Adhyayan.
Study.
Mahadakhyanam is this great narration called Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahad Akhyanam. Adhyagan. Do Adhyayan. Do Swadhyaya. Study Srimad Bhagavatam. Not casual reading. Study Srimad Bhagavatam nicely. Enter deep into the philosophy of Bhagavatam. Enter deep into the emotions of the characters of Bhagavatam. Make friendship with the shlokas of Bhagavatam. Make friendship with all the glorious personalities whose stories are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Read in a more introspective way, meditative way. Do some mananam and nididhyasanam also. Contemplate, introspect on the principles of Bhagavatam and try to apply them as much as possible, right? Try to see the various circumstances that we are facing, all the situations in life, in the light of Bhagavatam. If this is a situation that is put in front of Parikshit Maharaj, how would he respond to it? How would Suniti respond to this insult? How Ambarish Maharaj responded to Durvasa Muni? So when we study Bhagavatam in a more, not in an academic way, okay, Prabhupada says scrutinizingly study, but in a more devotional way, not in an academic way or scholarly way, but in a more devotional way. If we, especially reading Bhaktivedanta purports, if we do so, the principles of Bhagavatam will slowly enter into our hearts. They will transform our hearts. Then our response to various situations in life will be guided by, will be flavored by the principles of Bhagavatam. Right? So that's how we can, when our responses are in line with the teachings of Bhagavatam, when our responses to different devotees and different situations in life are in line with the teachings of Bhagavatam, naturally that will attract other people's attention also. Right? That will bring one closer to other devotees also. Okay. So that's the point. Studying Bhagavatam. Any other question or comment? Yes, Prabhu.
You mentioned about the Prajatas, the 1,000 years of hostilities underwater.
10,000
after
years.
hearing 10,000 years. Rudra Gita, peaceful, kind of. But the moment they come out, they become envious and angry towards the trees.
It's not envious, it's anger only.
Anger?
And that anger also has some point. Prabhupada writes, the trees grew so much. Okay. But Prabhupada writes in the purport that there should be some land for agriculture also. If only trees are growing everywhere, there is no place for grains to grow. How will the kings feed the citizens? So to that degree, yeah, you may take their circumstantial anger also bona fide anger. But from another perspective, yes, that's not appropriate to become overboard. Like you see, Dhruva Maharaj became angry, excessively angry. Although he's a pure devotee, he got the darshan of the Lord. He also is holding boarding pass of Vaikuntha airplane ticket in his hand. Okay, he became excessively angry with yakshas, and he wanted to kill all of them. And Swayambhu Manu came and controlled him. So from one perspective, you need to understand that even at that level also, there could be some susceptibility, distraction because of anger or because of compassion. Bharat Maharaj went up to Bhava stage. He became distracted by compassion. He did not have lust or envy or greed or anger. Okay, so he became little overly attached to a deer, and he became a deer in his next life. So all these quote unquote mistakes of great souls should be seen as mistakes. We should not lose discrimination, but at the same time we should not disrespect these great souls or demean or minimize their positions. But we should take a personal lesson that, oh, if they could be distracted by anger, I can also be distracted. Let me be careful. So Bhagavatam, without any compromise, mentions the mistakes of great souls also in its pages, so that we get a lesson, so that we get an understanding mercifully. Bhagavatam begins with Vyasadeva, how his whatever he has written did not give him satisfaction. Narada Muni had to come and chastise him. What abominable work you have done. You have not sufficiently glorified Krishna, and on top of it, you have overemphasized on the four Purusharthas. No, you should write Bhagavatam properly. Okay. So, yes, mistakes of great souls are meant to give us messages, but not meant to make us minimize their positions. Okay. Thank you very much. You can decide how many questions I should take.
Harekrishna. Forgive me, it's not a comment, it's a sharing. In the Prabhupada afternoon lecturer, Bhagavad-gita, Prabhupada mentioned Krishna maybe more than I think 100 times. It shows that Prabhupada love towards Krishna. So today also, in your lecturer, maybe one of lecturer, I noticed that you have mentioned Krishna's name more than 100 times. It shows love towards Krishna, you lover of Krishna.
Okay.
Really, that's what Prabhupada told. Prabhupada told how many times he mentioned Krishna's name. That shows the love towards Krishna. And today I observed that you mentioned more than 100 times Krishna's name. That shows the love
Yes,
towards
so
Krishna, lover of Krishna.
with your blessings, I'll also develop some love for Krishna. Thank you. Not just saying Krishna, Krishna, I should also lovingly say that. By your blessings, it will happen. Thank you very much. Everybody is pushing. They're very curious to know what's your second question. Since 24 hours.
I
Yes,
forgot
Prabhu.
yesterday's question, but today's question is
Okay.
no. Developing love to Krishna is very hardest job.
Yes.
Sometimes even one life is not enough.
10 lifetimes also. 20 lifetimes also. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtan, tabuna paibe Krishna pade premadhan. Even after millions of lifetimes, also one may not be able to develop love for Krishna if there are offenses in one's sadhana. But if there are no offenses in one's chanting of the holy name, we can develop love for Krishna even in a moment also.
In a moment also.
Yeah, in a moment also. Mahaprabhu went and embraced somebody and they became lovers of Krishna. Okay, anyways, go ahead. What's your question?
See, because it's the hardest job and we are telling our mind every day and gaining the knowledge, we are now, as we practice, we create a rush in our mind to reach Krishna quickly, then what's happening is we start ignoring and offending people around us. And how do we balance this? Because we are rushing towards Krishna, but at the same time we are limited. We started ignoring, and at the end of the day,
see, devotees are definitely greedy to get Krishna prema. Laulyam, that is bona fide. Devotees are greedy, but they are not selfish. You can be greedy for more and more service to Krishna, but we should not be selfish. I should only get all opportunities to do privileged services to Krishna, not others. Okay, you can be eager for seva, enthusiastic for seva, rushing towards Krishna, as you said. So how can you rush towards Krishna? By devotional service only. So in devotional services, you can be very enthusiastic, eager, utsaha, laulya are good, but not at the cost of compromising on our relations with other devotees. If our being greedy or over enthusiastic is causing some discomfort to other Vaishnavas, then ultimately it is not pleasing to Krishna, right? So therefore we should go towards Krishna along with other devotees. If we just want to go to Krishna by ignoring devotees, disrespecting devotees, or trying to cross over them, discourage them, demean them, disrespect them and all, it's not travel to Krishna, by the way. By the way, it's not travel towards Krishna. We are traveling in the opposite direction. Okay? So we are traveling in this direction. There are people around. We are ignoring them. We don't know when we have turned our face in a different direction. When we are traveling in the opposite direction, still people are around. Right? They may be moving slowly forward and you are doing fastly backward. Okay? Huh? Team? Teamwork. Yeah, let's be in a team, in the company of devotees to come closer to Krishna. So that's what pleases Krishna. When you want to go to him, we should understand what pleases him. Okay, when we are in team, as Mataji said, when we are in the company of devotees, when we are in the association of devotees, that will please Krishna. Even after attaining Krishna, having Krishna's darshan, great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, all of them said that we want the association of devotees. You know what Dhruva Maharaj said? Bhaktim muhuhu pravahatam tvayi me prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amalashayanam yenanjasolbana muruvyasanam bhavabdhim neshye bhavadguna kathamritapanamattaha. When Narayana gave him darshan, Dhruva is saying that, my dear Lord, thank you very much for your darshan. Can you please give me the association of your devotees? He did not say, come take me to Vaikuntha. He did not say that. Please give me association of devotees. If I am in the association of devotees, actually I am in Vaikuntha, although I am not physically in Vaikuntha. Why? Krishna says, Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tishtami nartha. Naham tishtami Vaikunthe sadhunam hridaya shiva. I don't stay in Vaikuntha. I stay in a place where my devotees are chanting my glories. If you are ignoring the devotees and want to go to Vaikuntha, Krishna is not there. He came to the place where Harikatha is happening with other devotees. Okay? So, offending Vaishnavas and loving Krishna cannot go together. Okay? Loving Vaishnavas, serving Vaishnavas, and going towards Krishna will go together. Makes sense?
And second question. We are in a situation that we have a service for Krishna, but atheist friends ask for help.
Atheist friends.
Atheist friend asks for help. Like a friend who is envious of Krishna asks for help. And they don't believe in God. And in that conflict, what should we choose?
Now, they may not love Krishna the way you are loving Krishna, but they want some help from you. If you help them, that will make them attracted to you. And because you are attracted to Krishna, one day they will also get attracted to Krishna. You can see it from this light also. If our extending ourselves and helping some people who may not be following Krishna consciousness helps them become Krishna conscious eventually, that's what prachara is, preaching is. That's what spreading Krishna consciousness is. At some point, many of us, at least myself, okay, We were not practicing Krishna consciousness. 2 decades of my life, I just roaming here and there, not chanting Hare Krishna, right? More than 2 decades, 21, 22, 21 I think I began chanting. 2005, 6, yeah. 22, by the time I became 22, I became little serious in chanting 16 rounds, right? So because some devotees came and told me you have to chant Hare Krishna, that's why I chanted Hare Krishna, isn't it? Similarly, if you ignore your friend, how will he chant Hare Krishna? If he's totally envious, really atheistic that you said, the way you describe it's too intense, then you can ignore. But if they're little ignorant people, don't ignore them. Enlighten them. If they're arrogant people, then you can ignore them to protect your Krishna consciousness. If they are ignorant people, innocent people, you can enlighten them. Right? You can be kind to them. Make sense? Hari Hari. Yeah, please. Yes. Ahetuki bhakti. Such a beautiful question. Hetu means cause or some motivation. Ahetuki means no motivation. Ahetuki bhakti means serving the Lord, worshipping the Lord, chanting His names, or doing various services that are prescribed for us without any material motivations, without expecting things in return, selflessly serving the Lord. Okay, so that is called Ahetuki bhakti, unmotivated bhakti, which is the essence of all Shastras. We'll conclude. You have a question, Prabhu?
I have a question, but I am okay if you want to.
I'm okay. I can continue.
Yeah.
Authorities can decide.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat. Thanks for the nice lecture. Actually, I could find some of the points of relationship with devotees, but I'm just thinking out how I can help. For example, we have devotees at our home also. For example, family, and I have seen that sometimes, even if there are devotees within the family, the conflicts are more. For example, sister-in-law and mother-in-law. A very kind of example I see, even if they are devotees, but when they are in relationship, we'll see a very different ways of working and all. Similarly, I've seen even in brothers, and even in devotees also, when they become friends, the relationship is destroyed sometimes. So how to, basically, because this is the life we are living, we are not all very ideal devotees and all that, at least I am not. So can you bring some sutras for normal people like me who are fallen souls?
Yes, the greatest sutra that we have discussed and very much emphasized today is coming together and discussing about Krishna. You said that mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, brothers, sisters, friends, whatever, family members, if they come together and just discuss about Krishna. Now, the daughter-in-law can speak Putana pastime, mother-in-law can speak Damodar Leela pastime, right? So then they will start appreciating each other for their love for Krishna. So we need not feel shy. Why we don't feel shy to do so many things? We don't feel shy to open mobile phone, smartphone even in public, right? So why should we feel shy to discuss about Krishna with family members? So by discussing about Krishna, by bringing in some positivity in our discussions. Otherwise, many discussions are based on some kind of things that we need to do, or some conflicts may be there, some difference of opinion may be there. But let's bring in some discussion between us that is very positive, spiritual, and the scope of difference of opinion is less, right? So non-controversial, plain Harikatha, if you just bring in, that will bring our hearts also a little closer, right? That's a practical tip. Do you think it is practical?
It is practical, but how it is doable? For example, I'll tell you.
Practical is doable.
No, I'll tell you a practical scenario. It's not in my family, but I've seen that. For example, the daughter-in-law has some habit of different vegetable eating, and the mother-in-law will push her, why you cannot eat, you do so much bhakti and you are so much adamant on all these things. So that stays in the mind. Even if they are doing bhakti and all, something stays in the mind and that keeps bothering the relationship. So we need to get that out of the situation. Even if they are doing Krishna bhakti, when they are in the temple, you will they are the best buddies. But then when at home, you will see.
Spend more time at temple.
So sometimes, I'm not saying that
Got
it
it,
is
got it.
always happening, but you will see.
Yeah,
that
it happens, Prabhu. So there is basic incompatibility due to one's own innate natures. So despite all incompatibilities, we can at least speak some harikatha between them, or just worship the Lord together, and appreciate each other, respect each other for their love for Krishna, although there is incompatibility. Right? As I said some time back, we may not have thick, close friendship and relationship with every single living being. It may not be possible. For all practical reasons, there is incompatibility. Now, you can take mango milkshake, probably, but you can't take lemon milkshake, right? If you put lemon in milk and then taking it, it may not work. So similarly, although lemon itself may be good and milk itself may be good, bringing them together may not work. Okay. So similarly, all the two devotees may be good, they working together may not happen sometimes, right? That's all right. It's acknowledged. But point is, they should not disrespect each other. It should not go below respect. Okay. So respect should be there for whatever the other person is, because I have certain way of work functioning and they have certain way of functioning. There may be a little conflict, so we can maintain a respectful distance. Respectful. That's why it's called respectful distance. Okay. But it should not go below disrespect. Below respect. If I disrespect another devotee, how can I be dear to Krishna? You have your own flavor of worshipping the Lord, and other devotee also may have their own flavor of worshipping the Lord. They have own rasas, varieties there, but there may be some incompatibility if we use things. There are musical instruments. Different musical instruments are there to accompany the main lead singer. But if they are not played properly or harmoniously, the people who hear, they may get some ear pain. Okay, so all musical instruments are there, but they should be played in a compatible manner, harmonious manner. If that is not happening, you remove one instrument that is not matching. Shain Kirtan is happening. You have this Vamfars, right? What Vamfar they call? Big Kartal, this big Kartal. You can't do that in Shain Kirtan. In some Nagar Kirtan, Nagar Sankirtan, you may do that. Shain Kirtan, don't bring them. That will spoil the... you understand Shain Kirtan? Very soothing, calm night Kirtan to make the Lord sleep. So, you see, they in themselves, all instruments may be good, but some cannot be brought together. Right? Makes sense, Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, we'll conclude here. We'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll discuss about tackling distresses.